Hey everybody, and welcome back to the next part in my dialing in series for our Line 6 Helix. Today I'm going to do, again, not an artist-specific patch, but more of an amp-specific patch, and I'm going to look into an amp that I've messed around with a little tiny bit. I think I actually dialed in a tone, if I'm not mistaken, with this amp for my latest CD that I'm going to be releasing soon, just for maybe one solo. It just had a really nice tone for that. But I never really got back to messing with it. It's the Litigator amp, which is a Line 6 original. And from what I understand with the name Litigator, it's going after that, high-end boutique-y Dumble type of a sound, if I'm not mistaken about that. So I thought that would be a fun one to mess with. Now, this is going to be a little bit different in the sense that some of the other amps that I've worked with making like 4 snapshots with, have been maybe higher gain amps, right? Where I've gone from a really clean to a little bit of breakup to maybe an overdriven tone and then a distorted tone. I don't think, I've never pushed the Litigator to the limits, to see how much gain it has, but I'm guessing it's not going to be a super high gain amp that's going to, be suitable for metal or even heavy rock. It's going to be more around, hopefully some nice cleans and some nice breakup tones, and then maybe just a nice, more of a mellow lead. Maybe mellow's not the right word, but you know what I mean? Something that's not going to be ultra high gain, right? Think in terms of a lot of the players who are known kind of for playing a Dumble, right? Maybe Robin Ford, Larry Carlton. I know he uses that Bluto tone, which is kind of a Dumble wannabe, I guess we could call it, right? So let's dive in here and see what we can do. I think what I'll probably try to do is maybe create... Well, maybe we'll shoot for 4 snapshots, 3 or 4, going from clean up to, as much gain as we can get out of this without it sounding, like it's being pushed too much. So let's go over to HX Edit and take a look. I already have set up my normal template that I use. I've turned the EQ off. I have the compressor on at the end. The reverb that I actually changed it up a little bit. I just threw a spring reverb on there to try something a little different. I like spring reverb, so we'll try that today. Again, this is, these will be personal preference. If you get this patch, like I put it up on CustomTone all the time, and you like a different reverb, you don't like spring reverbs, just, swap it out for your normal reverb that you like or that suits whatever you're playing it with. The delay, I still have a transistor tape. I mean, maybe we'll change that up later. I don't know. We'll check it out as the time comes. Let's try the Cosmos Echo maybe. I'll turn that off for now. We'll look into that later. I have my split crossover set up here. Everything flat on that right now. Not really sure if we'll need it or not. We'll see. So let's pull up the Litigator as an amp and a cab just to see what, I think that's down at the bottom here. Yeah, way down. Line 6 Litigator. So that comes paired up with a 112 US Deluxe cab with a 160 ribbon 2 inches off. So let's just change that to only the amp. We'll go after it and we'll find that cab 112 US Deluxe. Okay, 160 ribbon. So this would be what the amp sounds like just with its default settings. I'm using my Golden Montreal Premiere with Duncan pickups. I believe these are custom, I think. Anyways, don't quote me on that, but they're Duncan pickups. Compressor is on a little bit. So this is the sound that comes up without changing any default settings on the Litigator, just with a little bit of compression at the end. Okay, output's a little low. Let's just maybe jack the channel volume up here just to... My tone and volume are on full. That's a really nice tone right off the bat without touching anything, right? It can clean up. Got a little bit of edge of breakup to it right off the bat. So let's do this. Let's start off with naming our first snapshot clean and see if we can get a nice kind of sparkly-ish clean out of this. So that was breaking up a little too much for my liking. So I have my channel volume on 10. Let's pull our master back to 4 so we're not mimicking those power tubes breaking up. And we'll just see how much volume we have if we pull this back to... Obviously, we need some more output on that. I'm just checking my meters here. So let's come out to our output block at the end. And I'm going to boost that considerably. See what we got there. A lot of people ask me what I'm looking at over here when I do these videos. I have Cubase running. I have 2 monitors set up. There's another one over here. And I have the input meters. They're just peak meters. There's been a few people ask me about loudness meters using LUFS measurement. You know, you can do that to balance. I kind of use my ears just to balance the snapshots. And I just don't want things to be peaking in my DAW or distorting, right? So I'm just trying to get this up, maybe peaking at -5, -4. That's peaking right now around -5. I'm happy with that. That's going to be a decent amount of output, right? Okay, so I'm good with that. We'll probably have to bring that down later as we add more gain and whatnot. I guess, you know, let me just try the 121 ribbon on this. I'm going to pair up the 121 ribbon with this. Let's pull that back just a... Actually really liking that just the way it is. Let's add a little bit of reverb onto that. Let's see what we have here. Spring with a decay of 3 and a mix of 31. Man, that's a really nice tone with very little done to it. I might want, okay, so what do they have here on the tone stack? We haven't even looked at the tone stack here. Bass 5, mid 5, treble 5. So everything's just flat. Presence is on 0. Let me roll in a little bit of presence on that. And also let's bring on our EQ at the end here, just to get in my high and low cut that I normally have at 100. I'm gonna roll this back to 90, keep that at 12. Other thing I'm gonna do is just bring the peak reduction up. We'll try 6. Pull that back a touch. I'm not disliking that at all. That is a really nice, clean sound. Just try pushing the presence just a touch more. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to leave that for our clean. Wow. Didn't touch my split crossover at all on that. I mean, we could have, if we wanted to brighten that up a bit. I have the crossover set at 650 hertz. I could have come in and add a couple dB to everything above that. See what... That's not bad either, right? It's going to have a little bit more sparkle to it. Maybe let's even just go 1 dB. Yeah, let's stick with that. We'll see how that works. Great. Okay. So let's save that. We'll go to snapshot 2 and I don't know, let's name this like I named them before. We'll just go push. So we're just kind of maybe trying to get a little edge of breakup type of tone on this. So now let's just make these into snapshot enabled for our drive, our channel volume, our master. Let's just do it for all of these in case we want to mess with them at all after the fact. So I was thinking maybe for our push channel, I could bring the settings back to where they were by default. So everything kind of on 5, except keeping the presence up. Let's pull this volume back maybe to 7.5 and see where that's kind of peaking out. That's a nice tone. Levels aren't too bad. Let's just compare it between the cleans we had. Come back maybe a hair on that. Okay, I'm thinking maybe we could come back a little on the presence here. That's kind of nice too. I don't mind that for... Let's compare that to our clean then again. I'm really liking that. That's not bad. Let's leave that alone. Okay, so then if we go to a third snapshot, maybe name that one drive. Okay, so let's pull our channel volume back because let's do something here. I'm going to push the drive and the master full on this and just sort of see what happens. With these new settings we've done. So that's a little much as far as I'm concerned. But let's try to get some of the power tubes going in here, then mimicking that. Maybe back to 7.5 on each of these. Let's see what the volume is like. Not bad. Now I'm going to roll the presence back even more here. And I'm even going to come up to my split crossover and maybe roll that back to 0 again. kind of nice. I don't mind that at all. And this is going to be personal preference again. Do you want, a little more gain out of this? Well, that's going to be up to you, right? This is... To me, that's nice. It has a nice little edge to it, but it's smooth still. It's not too grainy sounding. Let's try something else then for yet another snapshot. And let's just, I don't know, maybe call this lead for lack of a better term. And let's try this. Let's not push the amp anymore, but rather let's maybe throw a Minotaur in front of it. And we'll see if we can push it a little more. What I'm going to start with, and this is what I like to do when I use a Minotaur. A lot of the times when I'm using overdrive pedals in front of amps, I don't really like to get a ton of distortion from them. I like to get the vast majority of it from the amp itself and then just push the amp a little harder with it. So we'll start with the Minotaur on 0 and we'll just adjust the tone of this, okay? So we should still be on our amp where we were set with 7.5 on master and 7.5 on drive. Let's see what this sounds like. So the Minotaur here is adding a little bit of bite to it. Now that might be something you want, but maybe not. Let's just pull the tone back to maybe 4.5. Try that again. Okay, I'm okay tonally with that. That might change as I add more gain in, but let's now bring the Minotaur in gain-wise just incrementally. Let's start with 1. Same thing without it. Little tiny bit more cut, a little bit of a boost. Let's go again. Let's go one more notch up here to 2. It's given us a nice little boost. Let's go to 3 and just see what happens. We might start getting into territory it's a little too much. Compared to without it. Now I might even, let's try pulling the tone now that we have that back to 4. I don't mind that much gain when we pull that tone back a little bit, it just to smooth it out a bit. So without that, I'm good with that. And again, this is going to be really up to personal preference. Like I always say, you guys probably get sick and tired of hearing me say that, but it really is, right? Your monitoring system, your guitar, your playing style, everything is going to affect this. So, you might want to come in here and turn the Minotaur off and have no need for this 4th snapshot, or maybe you want a little bit more gain. I mean, let's see what happens if we really push this. It's not terrible, right? It's a very nice pedal to hit the front of the amp with. I guess for my personal preference, I would probably stick there. Okay, so let's compare that to our drive channel, or our drive snapshot, which still has the Minotaur on. Okay, let's see if we've got this now. Yes, it comes on there. Yeah, we got to turn this off on our other snapshots because I added it after the fact. No problem. Okay, so there we go. Still nice and responsive to the touch, right? And again, if some of you find that too much gain, just back it off in the Minotaur to 2 or whatever, even just 1 if you want just a little boost. It seems to have a little bit of a volume jump, which I'm okay with since it's going to be lead. So let's add in our delay now. See what... Okay, so the Cosmos Echo is going to have 3 heads. I usually come back to just using the 3rd head if I just want sort of a simple kind of an echo. I'll keep that set at quarter notes. I'm at 120 beats per minute. So let's just leave everything default and mess with the mix. I obviously don't want the mix that high. Let's go at 20. Feedback's probably a little much too. Let's see what that's. I'm gonna roll my volume back. Still cleans up nice with the volume control going back. I'm really liking that. That's okay. And again, that's going to be personal preference, whether you want more or less delay. All right, so let's see what we have here now between balance between the patches volume-wise. There's our clean. A little bit pushed. Up to our drive. Up to our lead. Now that I hear it, that clean jumps a little much, maybe. Again, you can adjust that to your liking. I'm liking that. You know, there's obviously going to be little changes you guys will have to make to it to make it your own and make it work with your system and your playing style and your monitoring and whatnot. But that's a great amp model. I mean, that is just fabulous. There's nothing to complain about with that. It almost sounded amazing regardless of the settings you use. So that's, you know, that's when you have a, have a great amp model. So I hope you guys like that. I hope sitting through all my mindless noodling here, I hope that was all right. I'll put this up on CustomTone as usual, so if anybody wants to grab it and try it out, let me know what you think of it. And hopefully it's a patch somebody can get some use out of. Like I said, at the outset, it's not going to be a heavy metal patch or a heavy rock patch, but you know, it gets up there. Once it starts breaking up, you could probably get away with this to even play some classic rock and blues, jazz. You know, it's going to probably work quite nicely. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Grab it on CustomTone. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share the video if you can, if you enjoyed it, and leave me your comments. Love to chat with you guys about different things, and I'll be back again soon with some more content, and like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in, and ciao for now.